Hello everyone, Julia here. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I've chosen to do a monochromatic card as I know not everyone has a lot of inks or a lot of stamp sets, and I just wanted to show how easy it is to make a lovely card with not very much equipment. Today I'm going to use Old Olive as my cardstock and stamp. That's because it will be continuing in the new catalogue. Unfortunately, this beautiful colour, Sweet Sugar Plum, will not be continuing, which I'm very sad about. I really love this colour. I think it's great for giving a vintage look to cards. However, there'll be new colours coming in and I'm sure they'll be really beautiful too. So what I'm going to use today is a piece of Old Olive cardstock measuring 5 7/8 of an inch by 4 1/8 of an inch. I'll also be using a piece of Very Vanilla, 5 6/8 of an inch by 4 inches. A piece of the light green glimmer paper measuring approximately 6 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And then you'll also need a scrap of the Very Vanilla and a scrap of the Old Olive. And that's just to make the sentiment tag up here. Okay, so we might as well just get started with our stamping. I'll put some scrap paper underneath there. And the stamp sets I'm using are Dragonfly Dreams, which is a beautiful stamp set. I'm going to be using, and that one's still in the catalogue. Timeless Textures, again a lovely stamp set which will still be in the catalogue. And the sentiment I'm using is from the Cake Soire set because it's just a beautiful sentiment, that one. Okay, and I'll also be using these dies, the Detailed Dragonfly Thinlit dies. And this is an old one, so anybody who has their own tag to cut out can just insert the one that you've got. But I'm using it from this old Thinlits circle card. So I'll put those aside and we'll get started. Now, I'll just open up my ink here. There's quite a bit of stamping off to do in this because you don't want a very heavy background. So I'm using this stamp here from the Timeless Textures, which is this one here. And I'm just going to get that to be quite light. And I'm just going to be stamping it around the edges. Just on and off, not too heavy. It's just to give that sort of older feel to it. And you can do as much or as little as you please. Just like to give it that sort of look there. And then just very lightly putting a little bit of colour in the middle there. I might do a little bit over on that corner there too. Okay. Alright, so that's basically all we have to do with that part. Then I'm going to use this stamp here from the Timeless Textures as well. And I'll just pop that on a block here. And I'm going to put just coming in off the card there, and again stamp off a little bit and there. And then I'm going to use the Dragonfly from this set here. Yes, that one. Pop that on my block, and again stamp that one up, stamp it off, and just going to bring it in lightly there and up in the other corner as well. not fully on the page, just sort of half on, half off. Okay, then I'm also going to use this stamp in the middle here, just on an angle. Pop that one there in full colour. And I'm going to, or I have actually already done it because I didn't want to have you sitting around watching me do this, but I cut this die out earlier, and this is the beautiful dragonfly that you get from it. So that dragonfly is going to be sitting on there. The other thing I did was I cut out, sorry, I showed you the wrong size on that one, it was this big one. And then I also, there's this die in there, and I just cut this little one out at the bottom, and I'm just about to pop that one out if I can find my, oh, there it is. So I'm just going to help it on its way out of the die. I do have a die brush too, but this one should come out fairly easily. There we go. And then all I have to do is to snip around this little edge here and here. Take that off, and I end up with a single butterfly, a single dragonfly, and just in a mini size. So there we are. We've got that little one there too. So that will be like this little one here. So the next thing I need to do is attach that. And you can see how quickly this card comes together. So I'm just going to do the head and the body. And I have actually done this smaller. I think it looked better with the smaller stamping of it and with the big dragonfly over the top. But it's entirely up to you. If you've got the set, just go with what you feel. And pop that one on there, and then we can bend the wings up a little bit so it sits up like that. And then we put our little one on. And just pop that, that's using Tombow of course, and pop that one in there. And again, just bend those wings up a little bit. That'll stick quite quickly, and I can do that after. Okay, the next thing I need to do is stamp the sentiment. But what I'm also going to do on here is to not have it as just the stark very vanilla. Again, I'm going to stamp off with the same stamp I had before, just to make the page look used. And then I'm going to get the sentiment and pop that on in there like that, and I will cut that out on my big shot really quickly. It'll only be a second. Pop that through the big shot, and won't be just a tick. It's decided to move on me, so I'm just straightening that up. Okay, we're right. Pop that in there and pop it through. Okay, and there we have it. So I'll just pop that out of there. And there's the sentiment. And I also cut out one the same in the old olive. And I'm going to cut that across here and across here. And then with a little bit of glue across this top section here. I'm going to sit that on there so that we just get the tiniest edge at the top, and I'll do the same thing at the bottom. And just straighten that up a little bit. There we are. That just gives a nice edge to the sentiment. I'll move that one up a little bit. Don't want too big a border. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals. So I'll just pop, whoops, I might actually put 4 on there, I think. And one more. There we go. Get the backing off those. Oh, that one's done. No wonder I can't find it. Okay, there we go. Well, I probably should have glued this all down to the card first, but that's okay. We'll pop that on there. Think about there's nice. Press that down. And we just glue the whole thing to the card. And you can see that this is a really quick card, but it's very effective. There we go. Press that down on the dragonflies as well. They'll be ready to lift their wings now. And there it is. And I'll pop a piece of very vanilla inside the card and possibly just do a light dragonfly across the corner like this one here, just to finish it off. So I hope you really like the card. If you do, please press the like and turn on your notifications if you're on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and get at least 2 cards out a week if I can, and I'd really love to have you view my card making. And thank you very much to all those people who are already watching or subscribing. Anyway, have a lovely day. Thank you for watching. Bye.